for this time around. Shook didn't really get much, but it doesn't matter. He was setting up the plays. So here we go. Pick and ban getting underway. First ban comes in is the Orianna ban taken away from Jesus.
So like this, early on, straight towards Jesus, take away one of his comfort champions. We just saw Froggen play Orianna. Very strong in the laning phase. You can pick up a lot of farm and then of course use it in the team fights. And now, thank you Millenium. Kale coming in as the second ban. 2 bans towards Jesus, really trying to put him on something where Kerp should be able to punish him.
Did you share your thoughts with Kirby?
I didn't actually do it with Kirby, and I like the fact we're going to use the name now.
That's going to maybe become a thing. KL, as you mentioned, ban out 100% win rate for Jesus on that one. Overall,
did you know, by the way, we always talk about how Kirby only has 1 trackball. He actually showed me he has like 4 now in his back. So he's bringing loads of trackballs.
Good, so the Millenium management have been listening, that's what that is. Zig's banned out, Jez is actually crippling himself now. What's he going to go with?
So for Jesus, I mean, he's been playing Yasuo, he's played Zed a few times, Kassadin now even. That's the thing about Millenium.
Blue side ban.
Yes, Millenium, Kerp, he doesn't play Kassadin, he didn't do it last split either. They keep banning it away on blue sides. Again, very predictable for the other team, saying we don't have to ban Kassadin.
Well, if they don't go for LeBlanc, it will get picked, I feel, for Kerp. Froggen
5 mid lane bans.
Has been banned out, yeah. All of the mid lane. Final choice. Not sure about the tabs. I suppose it is. Kerp has played it a few times, but it does leave LeBlanc on the table, which I feel Millenium are going to be like, they baited us into this one. Do they want us to take this champion?
So, okay, we have to remember her Q no longer silent, so she's slightly weaker than before. Still a good pick, but not the same kind of lane dominance we've seen from LeBlanc early on.
Twisted Fate is available.
TF is open, exactly. Could be the option.
Both of these.
Caitlyn, Lucian open as they carries in case they want to go for one of them early on. Supports, actually. Every single support is open at the moment. And of course Lee Sin. Predicted.
Gonna go for the Lee Sin in there. There's Evelyn and Lulu actually for Jez instead of that TF. We talk about it, of course. You know, we've shown the LeBlanc TF matchup that Millenium faced Alliance yesterday, and it didn't work out very well. But with Lulu being locked in, we'll see how it works out. There is TF potentially being picked up by Millenium.
And if they do lock it in, then with Lee Sin, you can set up some early gangs, some skirmishes, some fights where you're going to be very, very strong with both Lee Sin and Twisted Fate. Still though on the side of SK Gaming, early picking Lulu. Of course, he can still go to the top lane. I don't expect to see Freddy actually playing Lulu. He normally prefers the Bruisers, so expect it to be Jesus in the mid lane. And SK Gaming saying early on, we want to make sure we get a pick. Jesus really can play in his mid lane here. We don't want to risk anything with 5 mid lane bans.
Well, Svenskerin's been playing Jarvan a few times lately, so he's back on to Evelyn. Morgana, of course, left available, being banned out so heavily in 4.10, but it seems it snuck through the cracks because of the focus on the mid lane.
So a cool thing you can do when you have Morgana Twisted Fate is, first of all, you have a lot of CC to set up a gank, and also, once Twisted Fate teleports down, it's always the risk that people are going to turn around and just blow you up because you are fairly squishy. Black Shield instantly as he joins in, won't get crowd controlled, and can therefore move around like he wants to. So overall, good early picks here from Millenium, good teamfight potential, good pick potential, especially land the binding, land the stun from Kerb, and you have a lot of CC combined here. And SK Gaming, with Lulu of course to disengage, with the Wild Growth, which is going to work really well against whatever target Millenium decides to land all the single target CC they have on.
Well, Zyra was chosen yesterday. I think it was Rated actually played it then as well. It was. And this Cogmore has been locked in. Okay, so this is an interesting one because there was a choice of all of the AD carriers out there. Anything he could have gone for, went for Cog, who has, as we mentioned, been banned quite heavily in career, of course. Looking back at 4.9 as well, Cogmore was coming into his own.
He was a very strong pick, and the thing is, you used to build Blade of the Ruined King into Trinity Force, into Last Whisper and Vintage, whatever you wanted as your late game items. He never really built Bloodthirster. So he doesn't get affected by the fact it's now changed. He can do his same build as before, either go Blade first into Trinity Force or go Trinity Force and then Blade afterwards, and be very strong actually already in the mid-game points of the game, and then of course scale into late game as well and be this monster we always know he can be. And then when you put Zyra next to him, when you put a Lulu, you have so much protection for him, you have so much disengage, that if Candy Panda gets a good start here, if he gets going, he can really carry teamfights for SK Gaming.
Well, I think he's expecting to get going. I know for a fact I talked to him yesterday about obviously Caitlyn being viable. He was so excited about this patch. He said, I love this patch, I absolutely love it. It really goes to my playstyle. So Candy Panda feeling confident in this one. Of course, Lucian and Aatrox was picked up. We saw Freddy playing Aatrox yesterday. This time he's going to be up against it in that top lane with the Trundle.
And notice what we see here for both top laners. they have sustain. They can get health back, don't even need a Dawn's Blade to do it, and therefore they fit into now the current state of 4.10, where lifesteal, of course, is reduced. So overall, both top laners looking for the same thing, want to be able to sustain in the lane, want to be able to stay in the lane for as long as possible, and don't get too affected by the 40 seconds longer teleport cooldown. But overall, if you look at just the team fights, I mean, SK Gaming is all about Candy Panda. We're gonna make sure you stay alive and you just melt everyone from Millenium, and then you have Freddy and Sven going to try and go towards the backline of Millenium here, where Millenium is gonna look for small fights, not necessarily big team fights. They wanna have Aatrox split pushing. You can even put Lucian with Ghostblade and Blade of the Ruined King to split push as well, and then TF just joins in. Or you put Lucian in the mid lane instead to farm with Infinity Edge, with whatever late game item you want, and then TF is the guy split pushing. So they have multiple options to try and spread out the map and look for picks here and look for small fights. There's a lot of stuff.
You're excited about this one, aren't you? I can tell. You're a little excited. So the team comps have been picked. Which one do you think has come out ahead? Tweet at LOL eSports with hashtag MILWin or hashtag SKWin, and check out the results in just a few moments. And of course, you know, talking about how the builds are going to go, what do we expect then? So we just saw, of course, a Lucian, Blade of the Ruined King, Ghostblade.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Creaton, I think he played Lucian as well.
He did Infinity
Edge Triforce.
He did. Went for the late game build. It cost a lot
against the Cogmore, who will 100% be building Blade of the Ruined King first.
Yeah, or Trinity Force, but still, then afterwards we'll build it. So he will go towards the items.
Reckless does say sometimes he goes Triforce.
You can mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. So, well, we'll see how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this game underway. Game 2 of the day. SK Gaming in second place, chasing hard. They've just seen, of course, Alliance winning. They know they need another victory to try and keep in check with them to chase for that top spot. So, Millenium starting out as the blue team. Can they prevent SK from picking up a win here as the red team?
And again, Millenium, they're really looking to just fight in this mid-game point here as much as possible. Gang around with TF. Creaton can set up fights here. Jerry can land a binding. Of course, Aatrox can split push one-on-one, and then TF joins in, and you turn it around to 2v1 very fast. Where SK Gaming can look for late-game team fights instead and just protect Candy Panda as much as possible. Freddy scales really well into the late game. Evelyn is a good jungler in the late game as well. You build very tanky, you go in there, you just take as much damage as possible. So overall, SK Gaming, late game team fights, Millenium, picks everywhere, and don't really want to go too late game in this game here, because then they're going to get outscaled.
Oh, we'll see how it works out for the Millenium. Generally don't do quick games. SK absolutely do. They hold the fastest games, I believe, currently in the European LCS. They've had a couple of 25-minute matches in the previous 2 splits. At the moment, they are not looking to go for an invade, I don't think. You can see Kurt was roaming. He went up towards the top there, but he's quickly moving back into position.
And the AD carries here, especially Creaton, how he decides to build Lucian. It's going to be a big thing. If he goes for the Blade of the Ruined King Ghostblade, he's definitely looking for the mid-game fights here, looking to close out the game. If he instead goes for Infinity Edge as the first item, goes towards the late-game build, it could be to try and prevent Candy Panda outscaling him too hard, at least until we hit the real late-game point. Millenium now, moving in towards this red buff here. Freddy's waiting for him.
They've got 4 members at the top here. Freddy's going to have to back away. Dark binding possibilities from Jerry. Not going to go too aggressive. SK responding to this. You can see Candy Panda and Enrated already moving in. And Svensko, he's making tracks. He's heading straight down towards that red buff over on Millenium side of the map. So it's going to be a trade in buffs.
Yeah, trade buff and also lane swap here. Millenium up in his top lane. SK down his bottom lane. So normally, you want to see SK Gaming, because they're in the bottom lane with their dual lane, go for an early dragon. But if Millenium send down Jerry, if they send down Kevin and Codnext, there's multiple members to try and stop this dragon, and it should be enough to actually prevent SK Gaming from going dragon early. So we need to see how they want to play with Jerry, and if they want to try and stop an early dragon, or if SK even wants to start it.
Well, with both top laners with the Doran Shield, it suits them well to be in a 2v1. Of course, they have that regen health gen. They don't have to get the lifesteal on there, which has been changed. Kerb taking some big abuse from Jez's early on here. Couldn't pull that card quick enough to land it on Jez's. Was slightly out of range. So blue buff rotation. You can see Cotnex in there, along with the buddy system that they have with Kevin, and it seems they're going to go maybe a 4-on-1 dive on this top lane.
And SK like to do this where they actually keep Freddy in this 1v2, just trying to get as much XP as possible. Won't necessarily get any CS, but he's trying to get XP. Already put down a ward here. Expected Millenium to move multiple members up to try and dive him, which was the old style of lane swaps, where you would always try and go for the dive, force the top lane away. That's why they started jungling instead, because it was too risky to stay under the tower here. But something SK likes to do, it also means Svenskeren is farming by himself. And you actually see Millenium with an early ward on Dragon as well. So they see this one, but because they're 4 top, it's going to be a Dragon for SK.
They will have the timer on it. It's going to take some doing for SK, but it's a 3.5 minute Dragon start. That will get taken down, as you mentioned. They'll have the timer on it. Oh, Dark Binding just slightly off, not quite catching out Freddy. So Dragon goes down. Good start for SK Gaming. They are possibly going to lose that tower at the moment.
Should lose
it's not
top
being pressured too hard, and Freddy is actually back in play.
It's okay. Millenium backed away with both Kevin and Connex. Didn't want to try and go for the tower here, just waiting for Kraton to poke it down, and Kevin actually teleported to this bot lane. Svenskeren is nearby though.
We'll see whether he goes for this one. He's taking the golems down first. That way,
remember he has his passive.
Candy Panda holding that one there. Cotnex is backing off. Shook's just won the last game on Lee Sin. He's not going to get involved in this one unless Cotnex needs to substitute quickly. As it is, Freddy in that top lane is holding him off. Still hasn't got a single CS right now, but is absorbing the experience as the tower takes down those minions.
We could actually see Millenium try and go for kill the tower up top and then swap down his bottom lane here and don't give a tower to SK, and therefore trade tower for Dragon early on. Curb though needs to be a little bit careful in here. Svenskeren is staying around.
Freddy caught with a Dark Binding, but not a lot of damage following through. Svenskeren with that double buff, waiting for Curb to step out.
So both Ghost and Flash are going to be very hard for SK to kill him so close to the tower as well. Not sure if Svenskeren was waiting around for a counter gank instead, in case Cotnex was in there to try and get a kill. Now he's down this bottom lane and will actually be able to get the counter gank.
And they know Cotnex is there, and actually he's going to hope that he pulls in towards him. Cotnex maybe stepping out. Look at him, he's edging, he's twitching, he's desperate to go for this one. He talks about how he loves to get those kills, but he's not quite edging enough. He's lost the red buff's timed out. Now Cotnex has gone deep on this one. Svenskeren couldn't come around the back of the side of them. They're going to try and lock on towards him. They need to land that grasping root. Oh, it's just off the side. Does not land. And Cotnex will be safe for now. Hasn't parked off yet though.
They're simply waiting for Millenium to push even further out. Otherwise, Candy Panda can just freeze the lane if Millenium doesn't push it all the way. So that's why Svenskeren is still staying around here, hoping they will keep pushing up.
Well, mid lane's been pressured. They put the damage down and forced Kerp away so far. With Jesus is backing off there. Meanwhile,
he's in behind him.
Svenskeren is around the backside. It's Freddy. Kevin, they're going to go for. Can they pop that blood? Well, it doesn't seem that they will. And he just pounces out of range. Didn't even need to burn the flash.
But this means now Candy Panda can freeze this lane if he wants to and deny a lot of farm away from Kevin, while Freddy, once this tower actually goes down, will try and pick up some farm in case Kraton and Andrew leaves the lane. But now they did a very good job actually resetting the entire wave. The tower got to kill it, and therefore lost a lot of minions for Freddy. He couldn't pick up the CS, just only got the experience. And now's the time where he needs this minion wave to come down to him so he can start getting some farm, while Candy Panda in this bottom lane, you see him now, is gonna freeze it by himself and force Kevin away, so he won't be able to pick up any CS.
Toying with the emotions of Freddy there, trying to get them last hits in the CS, just keeps bullying him away. Now he feels he's comfortable. He knows in a one-on-one, so he feels he can actually get some experience, and more importantly, that siege minion was there, so he gets him that vital gold.
And this is one of the things SK Gaming as a team does really well. They know exactly where they need to have Svenskeren early on. The reason he stayed in bot lane for such a long time, even though it's very hard to get a kill on either Lee Sin or Aatrox, was simply to prevent him from pushing out the wave, forcing Kevin away, and giving Candy Panda some free time to farm.
Gives Freddy some free time to farm in this top lane. There's a big wave though coming in for Kevin, so he's going to be happy once that goes on towards him. They're happy to trade as well, back and forward. They're both feeling a lot more confident. So Candy Panda going back, 1200 gold on him. We'll see what he comes out with. It is going to be a Blade of the Rune King he's heading towards. Bilgewater Cutlass already picked up by Kraton though.
Yeah, so this is one of the good things about Blade of the Rune King as the first item, is you can actually build these long swords and a dagger without completing the Cutlass and still be very strong in the lane, because you get all these early items which you then upgrade into the Blade later on. So Cutlass now for Kraton and Lucian. Not Cutlass yet for Candy Panda, so slight advantage now to Kraton in the lane.
Well, we just saw in the previous matchup Kerp with, Overpower with the triple Doran's. Now we're seeing Kerp with the triple Doran's ring as well. Saw how far it set him back against Froggen. Not really being punished as hard by Jesus, but he's got a long way towards that Athene's already. And
Froggen yesterday in Twisted Fate did the same thing. Triple Dorans into Morello Normicon, then he started building towards the Death Cap, and so on. I actually believe maybe he went Outlast in the game, but still, we could see the same thing for Kerp here. Doesn't want to build their Fiends, because again, it is changed a little bit. He doesn't feel like he needs it because of blue card. Dorito taking some damage here, and Zyra against Morgana is a very good matchup for Zyra, because you can really poke her a lot.
There's a good trade back and forward between the two. Candy Panda taking some abuse. Back in the top lane, you can see they're just clobbing each other. I keep mentioning the fat lads from Grimsby, and that's exactly what's going on here. I don't think Freddie is from Grimsby, and I know for a fact Kevin isn't, but anyone from Grimsby knows exactly what I mean.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm lost.
Think of a fishing town in your beautiful, beloved Denmark.
Ah, Esbjerg.
There you go, Esbjerg, yeah.
It was actually one you went to.
Pronounce it? I said Esbjerg. I do, Esbjerg.
Esbjerg.
Esbjerg, there we go. Today I learned.
Well, come back to Denmark. I can show you around.
Show me the sights.
Sadly, it is actually a pretty boring country. We don't really have anything.
Okay, that's not really advertising the country how they probably would imagine it. Nevertheless, back to League of Legends, because right now the farming session in this bottom lane is about to hit level 6. You can see Candy Panda was already firing off those rockets. J-Ree's going to catch on, puts the shackles down, and Wraith is going to get stunned down here. He's going to go down. Of course, the plant passive, he's not gone down yet. There he is. J-Ree now in trouble. Can he land the shot? He does, and it's going to get followed. Candy Panda gets the revenge kill.
So it was actually not level 6 on to end rated yet. He got it as he died here. Maybe with the kill he managed to pick up. Crypto down his bottom lane.
Gonna come in, lands the gold guard onto Candy Panda. The damage from the culling from Kratos as he flashes in, gets one down. Svenska turns it back around, gets one. Can he get two? Yes, he does. Captain Surprise is not gonna catch on. Well, it doesn't matter. Candy Panda already got in there and got the kill with the Captain Surprise.
And Kevin now teleported down. Too late for the fight here, so his teleport is gone. Freddy's farming the top lane. Creator now, of course, will return to the lane a little bit late, so should be some farm for Kevin, but what a fight here. Early level 6 for Jerry, so he went all in onto Enrated here, followed him even after the flash, got the stun onto him, he went down, but then a beautiful passive from Enrated, got Jerry so low, one more hit from Candy Panda, it was a kill, and overall, I mean, SK Gaming coming out ahead of everything.
Equal in gold still between these two teams. Remember, Dragon was picked up by SK early on. That is back up and alive. First tower, of course, was taken by Millenium in the top lane. J-Ree gonna just get a little spiteful on Svenska when I feel there, landing the
good damage though.
Tormented Soil and the binding, letting the white do the damage on Svenska. And blue buff will be spawning. Telelight's already been taken, I think. I can see it already on him. Yes, that's the Svenska's blue buff, which he took off Kerp, and Jez already has his own. And speaking of Dragon, I did say they took it only on 3.5 minutes. Looks like they're going to go for it again.
So Kevin was recalled without teleport, but he's already moving towards the Dragon in case SK started. So they're backing away here. They know they're not really in a position to just straight up force the Dragon. You have to tank it. But then on the other hand, they feel very confident actually starting it, so they're going straight forward.
Freddy is in that top lane. He's got teleport available if he's needed. But Jez is
complete out of
backing
position
off.
here.
This is going to get taken, and Rated's coming up. He sees the ward down there, but, well, Jez is gone.
Yeah, very surprising here by SK Gaming. I mean, Jez was recalling the mid lane, kept recalling. Svenska moved away from the Dragon, and of course Freddy was just freezing the top lane with teleport, however. But then just went straight for Dragon. Didn't even care. SK completely out of position. Easy Dragon for Millenium.
So, even lane still between these teams. We'll see how that progresses. Bilgewater Cutlass was picked up by Candy Panda when he died last time around. Berserker Greaves were completed by Kraton, so he got towards those boots early on. So these AD carries, it's a tight fight between them, honestly, and you can see 87 to 87 CS between the two. They are very much evenly matched. Two very good AD carries here in Europe. So let's go and clearing out Pink Ward, giving him coverage. Should mention this top lane, actually. Freddy's been freezing this one for a very long time, actually, back and
we'll start pushing now, though. We'll slowly start pushing towards the top lane here today. Kevin needs to make sure he goes up there, wants to wave back to hits and get it. Jerry going very aggressive.
Soul Shackles straight away. Candy Panda will go down. He's going to take a lot of damage before he does. He's turning.
Coming in.
Kirk's going to join in, and Rated's in trouble. Stunt card catches on. It's a double, but at the cost of J-Ree.
And Millenium really invest everything into this bot lane here. Every single ulti from Curb down to the bot lane. Cotnex as well, always staying around here. Kevin needs to go in and try and clear this wave here to stop it from going down. Svenska is nearby, however.
Yeah, it may cost them this turret. That will drop down. You can see Kevin's trying to keep them at bay. Top lane, of course, still being left available. So, first turret of the game for SK. Second one should go to Millenium. Those minions, well,
just making sure.
Kratos just double checking he does go down. He's not confident, is he?
There we get it down, however. So once again, Jerry setting up the fight in the bot lane. Curb joins in. Cotnex is there. This time around, Svenska wasn't nearby to turn things around. Freddy, of course, was just pushing his top lane, so didn't teleport down to try and counter gank. And Millenium managed to pick up some kills. And we talked about how, with this pick comp here, Millenium, they need to get kills early on. They need to be aggressive. And it's what we see. Every time they have the chance, they go towards these kills here. And we also see Blade of the Ruined King on Kraton. So looking for the early power, looking for these early fights.
Kevin keeping those minions cleared out. Freddy. And actually, both of these, it seems that it may be a Sunfire Cape start. I'm not too sure. It's either going to be Blade of the Ruined King or Sunfire Cape. Which way are they going to go? Kevin, you would assume, would go for the Blade of the Ruined King, but you can see he's already got that Chain Vest on him just to prevent the damage.
So yeah, both of them gonna go for the Blade. Question is, will they complete the tank item first or not? I don't think Freddy will. Just straight towards Blade. Focus on pushing the lane here, building up towards his tank and his later on then, when he can join in for team fights. Again, SK Gaming, they just want to scale up to the late game. They're not looking for any big fights here early on. They just want to farm as much as possible and make sure Millenium don't get any easy kills.
Candy Panther takes himself the white blue buff to Jezzers, locking and securing that one. And of course, with that mid lane turret going down, it has opened up a little bit here for SK. We'll see whether they do manage to move into an objective. Blue buff, of course, for Kerb. Red card did not take it.
Cotnex got it. Yeah. So this mid tower being gone is actually a big deal because it means SK can move a bit further in and get some wards to try and spot Kerb when he moves to either gank a side lane or whatever he decides to do. And now SK Gaming as well. 4 members together going in towards the tower because Kraton was left in his bottom lane. They'll know they can go in and get some damage.
Half the hit points taken off that, and Raiden's going to get caught out. They go for Candy Panda, but then no damage to follow up, and Cotnex just gets blown up where he stands. Svenskeren actually caught with the gold card. He may go down. Kraton comes in just in time to call in, pulling down the damage, but Wild Growth will keep him alive, and SK back off.
We saw Candy Panda here. As soon as he spotted the Q from Cotnex, he actually flashed because he knew he was going to be the target here, so he had to flash even before Cotnex arrived. And therefore he only got kicked into the wall. They could just turn around, and now they want to go for Kevin up in his top lane.
Yeah, they're going to react quickly to this one. SK making a move straight in towards there. Jesus comes around the corner. Kevin already making tracks. Svenskeren was ready and waiting to pounce. Meanwhile, Millenium, they're pushing the mid lane. It's actually Candy Panda and Rated, the only 2 defending it. Kurt making his way up towards the top. They need to go defensive duties. They realize SK are pushing for their second turret of the game.
They also realized that both Zyra and Kog'Maw was staying to defend. Kerb coming in though for the gank.
Candy Panda does manage to get the slowdown. He's going to get caught up. It's actually the Dark Binding comes in, and Kraton finally finishing off. Freddy teleports into the mid lane. They save the tower, but they lose their AD carry.
Lost the top tower as well here. Didn't manage to get the mid tower. Only managed to pick up a kill, and then SK quickly moves in there to try and defend it. Dragon, 1 minute and about 25 seconds. So for now, they can't really use the kill for much more than just getting some gold in the bank.
So despite the fact they did lose a kill, they got themselves a tower. SK Game come out slightly ahead, but in terms of gold, you can see very even between the two, farm-wise across the board. 2-2 in towers, 5-5 in kills.
Dragon for Millenium.
Working out well. Dragon back and forth for SK and Millenium. Next Dragon up in a minute's time. Who is likely to go for it? Really, at this time, you talk about SK, how they're happy to farm, happy to keep going. Should they be trying to go for these 5v5 fights at the Dragon?
So the thing is, because they have Lulu and Zyra, they can really protect whoever Millenium decides to engage on. So they should be able to teamfight pretty well, but they still want to go towards this late game point. It's the big deal for them, especially now also with AD carries, where you're going to see the Ghost Blade on Kraton. He's going to be so strong for the next team fight here. And Millenium, of course, will try and look for a pick in this fight, while the members from SK are still fairly squishy, and they can just lock down the target and go straight for the kill. If they can get it, even before the Dragon spawns, they're going to use it to get objective 10.
They're in trouble, caught out by the Dark Binding. The rest of the Millenium going to collapse on towards this one. The Cullen, not quite enough to catch him out. He's saved off by his paid team. 12 seconds until the Dragon comes up. Freddy runs in a little too deep. Wild Growth saves his life, and the Stranglethorns go down. Kevin pounces in. He gets scored out. Bloodwell pops, but SK are all so low on health. Kratos comes through. They could wipe out and pick themselves up an ace here, and Rated in there, but Candy Panda still free farming off the side. You can see throwing out his ultimate, trying to catch on towards him. Kratos is singled out a little bit. Glitter Lance from Jez is not quite landing. And SK, they're going to start the Dragon off. This is a risky start.
Yeah, they're very low already. Oh, the binding hit onto Jez as well. Kraton coming in.
Kraton going big. He doesn't get the double tap. He gets locked up and straight away taken down and Rated with a great grasping route to lock him in with his place.
And Reddit really been playing well on the Zyra here, landing the roots, putting down his ultis to disengage every time. And Dragon to SK Gaming here. They're very low after the fight. Managed to actually get Kevin out of his passive. Teleport as well on cooldown. Such a back and forth fight. I mean, first they actually, Millenium went on to Svenskeren, had to back away. Then we saw the ulti coming in, they went on to Freddy, who was very squishy in the start, got the wild growth from Jesus, who is level 12 at the moment. Just overall, everyone was so low in the end.
Definitely a tricky, close match right now between these two teams, but SK Gaming have always come out on top when it hits that late game. They are so strong at clean objectives. You can see Jesus rushing down that mid lane, trying to protect it.
We really saw the disengage potential for SK as well. First the ulti from Enrated, everyone backed away from Millenium. Then we had Jesus with the wild growth onto Freddy, so he stayed alive, and he could just slow everyone, force Millenium to back away from the dragon here. And once they actually started the dragon, and the binding landed onto Jesus, quickly shielded himself. Creaton thought he could get an easy kill, instead just turned around, root once again from Enrated onto Creaton, and he was dead. And dragon for SK.
So SK Gaming with a minute lead, 2,000 gold overall between the two teams. Will they start to focus on objective? Of course, the top laners are starting to get a little bit stronger now. You can see Blade of the Ruined King was completed by Freddy. He's also picked himself up by that Giant Spell, while Kevin looks like he's rushing towards a Randians rather than a Sunfire Cape. Instead, he's of course had that build to cut this for a while.
And we really saw Freddy here in the last fight, how squishy he actually is early on. He definitely needs some tanky items as fast as possible. It was hard for him to pick up any farm now that the wave is actually pushing towards Kevin over in his top lane.
Well, blue buff for Kerp. V comes around there. SK actually still groups. Remember, they've already taken half the hit points off that middle inner turret. So Millenium have got to be careful they don't get caught out of position. Don't give Candy Panda some free time, because that max range W from Candy Panda can do a lot of damage. And Rated caught out, locked up by Dark Binding, and a good wild card from Kerp there.
It is scary for SK Gaming. Every single time Jury fires away the binding, if you get hit by it, you're going to take a lot of damage. Might even be followed up by a gold card from Kerb, and you just lock down a target for multiple seconds and possibly kill it. We saw how much damage Enraged already took, and he's now out of position.
Oh, he's separated. Twisted Fate going to go for this one. Kerp too slow. Not going to get in there in time. The problem is for SK, more for Millenium, is SK have got some great wave clear. You can have the vomit coming out from Candy Panda, the Bio Arcane Barrage as well, firing out.
Yeah, Lulu,
waves
Zyra.
Lulu with the Glitter Lance, as you mentioned, the Zyra in there. It's really hard for them to get in there if they don't get a pick. And this is what we talked about Millenium. They're all about picks, and they're doing the exact same thing again here.
It's the playstyle they love to play, and also it's the reason you see SK Gaming early picking Lulu to try and counter this whole pick style here, and then also Enrated with Zyra just to disengage these fights. And also it makes it very hard for Millenium to even dive onto SK, because there's so much CC and so many members who can either get knocked off or slowed down, and therefore they won't be able to do anything. And now Candy Panda getting this tower down the bottom lane, lose the mid lane one.
And they've lost Jesus in the process. I was just thinking 1 man versus 4 does not compute. And Millenium, they can keep on going here. They're going to push on towards that inner turret. This is going to be a problem, and SK Gaming have caught out a little bit of tactical surprise there. Teleport from Freddy, he's going to come in there. That's a great ultimate from Svenska, and tries to catch up the 3 of them. Kerb's going to get taken low, but it's not enough. You can see Candy Panda is rushing into this fight. SK are running towards him right now. Teleport was cancelled. I think it may have been interrupted by Kevin in the top lane. You can see they're going back and forward. Kevin's also taken very low up here. He's going to jump away from it, and the tower is safe for now, but SK, that was a close moment.
So Kevin, he saw Freddy move away from him here, so he could teleport in for the team fight and just interrupted him, took a lot of damage for it and had to back away, but still managed to save the tower, at least from SK's side with Freddy, and Kevin managed to save his teammates because he stopped Freddy from actually joining the fight. So overall, both top laners can actually be fairly happy here. We just see the interrupt. Freddy didn't even have time to go into the bush, just had to straight away teleport. He actually kills Kevin here, so his pass was going to be procced, and then he escapes afterwards.
Bloodwell popped out. He will be able to get up and get away from that one. Didn't use the flash, actually. Got away without using that one. So, SK Gaming still with the slightest, the smallest of leads over Millenium. This is not over by a long shot.
Keep thinking late game.
If they keep catching people out, if Kerb can get out there, get them gold cards, land it onto Candy Panda, who is the main damage dealer for SK Gaming, it could cause problems for SK.
Yeah. And of course for Millenium, it's a bit of a ticking time bomb as well. They know they need to make plays, they know they need to get some kills here. Because SK Gaming, despite the fact they're hitting now, and the fact they can now farm even though we're only 22 minutes in, actually looking fairly good. Still, Millenium looking to make some plays. Dragon come up in about a minute.
So difference in item build right now. Candy Panda are actually going for the Infinity Edge as the second item on Cockmore.
So normally you see Trinity on Cockmore. It's very good if you want to kite around in teamfights, you get some mobility, you can try and stay alive. But because he has Zyra and Lulu, he feels like he can go more damage. He doesn't need the kiting abilities from Trinity Force and can therefore go straight for the Infinity Edge and do as much damage as possible now.
Yeah, I like the fact that obviously in 4.10, a lot of these AD carries, the top pros, still all undecided about the perfect build. Of course, sometimes it can be very much down to exactly who you are facing in lane or in the game itself, so they're going to itemize especially for it. While this is all happening, of course, Freddy and Kevin still going at it in this top lane. We saw how well that worked out for him last time around. Kevin did get taken down, so he's got to be careful he doesn't get too far away from that tower.
Freddy's definitely the stronger top laner at the moment in this one-on-one here. We just see him every time there's a fight actually. Kevin has to go, he has to back away, even pop the passive before when he actually stopped Freddy from teleporting in. So things are looking good for him. He's just farming away as much as possible as well.
We'll see how these supports build out. Haunting Guys was picked up by N-Rated. All J-Re spotted out that this dragon is being taken. Cotnex is going to come in. Is he going to fight it? He gets it. Hint gets out safe. Hit and run.
Very, very nice play, and it's very important you get these steals as well, especially for Millenium. They don't want to fall too far behind, so they can't make any plays. So very good steal by him, making sure he gets some global gold. And we actually do see J-Re here building towards the Mikhails, which generally you want to have against something with a lot of CC. I mean, on the side of SK Gaming, we could definitely see a Mikhails from N-Rated later on, but SK's lineup is more about slows here than actually stuns.
We'll see whether that works out. Aegis also being picked up by Cotnex as well, so the first time we've seen a jungler pick that one up for a while. Randy and Zabone picked up by both Freddy and Sven Skeren. They're going to stack in towards them. Lich Banes by both of the mid laners. Millenium, are they going to manage to find themselves a pick? It doesn't really matter when they can just go in and steal a dragon like that away from SK. I guess it's kept them within shooting distance of SK. Still only 1,000 gold between them this game. As you mentioned at the start, possibly going to go long. Millenium, though, they have to try and finish this one earlier than SK.
And it's the issue for them now, and it's why we see them move so much around the map. They don't just group 4 members and move up the mid lane because they know the wave clear from SK is so strong. So they keep spreading out, keep trying to find openings. Dragon is one of them, which Cotnex managed to steal. And now Kerp going towards Freddy in this top lane.
Catching on towards him, stun card goes in. Oh, he actually avoided the wild card coming through there. He's going to try and delay this one. He's got no support, so I'm not sure where exactly he's running to. He's delaying. I see. He's delaying the mid lane. You can see they're rushing in towards teleport coming out. Kevin's going to get on towards there. They should hold this turret.
Will be able to hold it. Not even taking any damage for it actually. Yes, so Millenium, they got a kill. Might look for a fight as well.
They're rushing down the mid lane. You can see Cotnex tries to get onto them. They're slowing them down. Kerp's about to come out the side there. They jump on towards Sven Skeren. Candy Panda's going to be targeted. He's going to be the focus. Soul Shackles from J-Re locks on towards him. Dark Binding catching on Candy Panda. Wild Growth saving Candy Panda, but now he's trying to get away. He can't manage to get the damage down. Cathian surprise may actually explode on Kevin the moment he respawns. He will do, but it doesn't matter because Millenium, they got the picks. It's a 3-for-1.
So first to get a kill in top lane here. Kevin instantly teleports down to mid lane, and then Kerp runs down. They start a fight Millenium here. J-Re, once again, he gets into the back line, he gets onto Candy Panda, locks him down with Binding and his ulti, and then the rest of Millenium comes in and kills him. Even though everything from Jesus was used to try and save Candy Panda, it wasn't enough. If he gets locked down, Millenium will be able to get a kill onto him, and that's a big issue because he's the main damage dealer for SK Gaming.
Great read by Millenium there to spot the situation
and
knew
the picks,
exactly what the delay was, and you mentioned they got the picks. They managed to lock out Candy Panda, and you can see the protection. Everything was thrown at Candy Panda. Save this AD carry. When he goes down, everybody has to scatter like the wind, and this time around, Millenium find themselves the picks, and you can see it's actually dragged them. Well, they were, what, 1.5k behind, and now 500 gold in the lead. And of course, with that tower advantage, that middle inner turret, it's a big one to take down. It takes away a lot of the vision that SK can afford without those minions.
We also saw the power of Crescent once he actually joined in. Glittering King Ghostblade, he does so much damage with his 6 seconds. Now building towards Infinity Edge. Another reason why Ghostblade is a good item, because it gives you 15% crit already, synergizes really well with your Infinity Edge. And therefore, he's really looking for the next fight here to just destroy people if he can. And of course, Millenium are looking to try and lock down Candy Panda.
Kerp was Creaton showing himself down that bottom lane. There's a big wave coming up here. Millenium making SK making a big move on this inner turret, and honestly, they may well be able to get to it. They've got a lot of damage down on towards. They can see Millenium. They've actually moved into position. Candy Panda can get himself a free wave, but he doesn't fancy it. They don't fancy it. They realize They've not got there quick enough. And there's another minion wave coming in. Candy
Panda.
out of position.
What are you doing?
Kick and bounce. That is it. Millennium can rush and turn onto this one. You can see the culling coming out. Freddy's having to tackle that one off. They're going to chase back on towards it. Where is Curve going to go?
There's going to be Baron
side expected. Stun guard on towards Fred's going. Oh, follow back now. Finding beautiful, beautiful play from Millennium. And they turn this game on its head and get themselves another 3 picks.
Such a big mistake by Candy Panda. He didn't have flash. He used it in the last fight and he stayed in the front. So as soon as Connex went in, landed a Sonic Wave onto Freddy, he knew I can get Candy Panda easy peasy. Kicks him back. He's instantly dead here. And now onto the Baron here. 2 members for SK trying to defend.
Soul Shackle still available for Jerry if he wants to go for it. He may well. Jez is actually taken very low from this one. He gets caught out. Connex lands the Sonic Wave. They go back in and start the Baron once again. It's still only down to half health. And Rated the only man off the side. He's already used the Strangle Thorns. He's going to have to try and pull some miracle move here. Teleport available for Freddy. They're trying to delay it. It's not enough. Millennium get Baron.
Millennium gets the Baron and a lot of kills here. Everything about Candy Panda. Once we actually get the replay rolling, just look here. Candy Panda in the front by himself. Connex, this is an easy kick for him. No chance to even wild growth Candy Panda because Jess is so far back here and Candy Panda was kicked into the team. And then Millennium can just chase. Pops the ulti from Curb. He goes in. Doesn't even stun Freddy because he's so low already. Goes for the next target flash. And this is what we talk about with the single target stun. Followed in by binding. Doesn't matter which way you do it. You lock down a target for multiple seconds and Millennium picks up another kill.
Fantastic stuff. And you know, we talked about how easy it is to read Millennium. We know what they're going to do, but they do it very well. And when it works out beautifully. It's given themselves a 4,000 gold lead now. And of course, with that Baron buff, they can try and push an advantage. SK have regrouped. They're going back in that mid lane once again.
Candy Panda was actually up in his top lane here, just trying to pick up every single bit of farm he can, because again, it's all about him. His flash should be up for the next team fight, but he might look for some defensive item because he's the target every single time. Maybe it isn't enough for him just with Zyra and Lulu to defend him in these fights.
The problem is you can see how far he's actually fell behind Creaton. Creaton now, of course, had that Yomo's Ghost Blade and the Blade of the Rune King. A little bit ahead of yourselves there, guys. They do manage to get the Dragon down. Infinity Edge, though, was bought outright on that last bug. Meanwhile, of course, Candy Panda got that Infinity Edge on Blade of the Rune King. Now he's going to try and get some attack speed. Maybe, potentially, the Phantom Dancer going to come out there. But as you mentioned, he now needs something defensive. He needs to get out of those scary positions that he keeps putting himself into.
We, of course, have to give credit to Connex. I mean, saw the opportunity, he landed a Q on the Freddy, just saw, okay, Candy Panda, you're out of position. Instantly jumped him, flash kicked him back to the rest of the team. So we need to see what happens here in the next team fights. I don't feel like Millenium can actually dive onto SK Gaming with all the CC, with all the AoE from SK Gaming here to knock up targets, to slow multiple targets. It becomes very risky to dive. They might try and go for it with Curb here. No Hourglass, however, so he can't really go in first. You need him to jump in with the passive.
Well, SK a 5-man defending this one. Of course, Kevin is pushing that top wave. He's just getting himself a gigantic chunk of farm, pushing it all the way around. And let's not forget, an Aatrox, if he's left free on the tower, will do a hell of a lot of damage on towards him.
Definitely, and they could even put Curb in the mid lane now, and then he pushes up the mid lane. We have top lane being pushed up by Kevin, and then they just stay safe in his bot lane, clear the wave every single time, make sure it's around the tower of SK, and in case something happens, Curb just teleports in. If it's up in the top lane, they could dive onto onto Freddy, kill him, 2v1, and then take the tower. But for now, Curb is staying with the team in his bottom lane here, so Kevin is all alone against Freddy.
Going to try and get around the side there. Look at Cotnex, he's sneaking. He hasn't got flash available this time. He'll be off cooldown. He wants to get on towards Candy Panda once again. He was dangerously putting him close out there. Ward going down off the side. Yep, they know the Cotnex is trying to sneak around. He's going to sweep both of those lenses. There's going to be the culling coming out. Didn't really catch a great deal on anyone, but it does buy them time to catch on. Svenskeren caught out with the Dark Binding. Sonic Wave catches. They don't follow through on that one. Candy Panda does get that wave cleared down, but SK is slowly being chipped down here by Millennium.
Move Curb to the mid lane. There's no hard engage on the side of SK, so he will always be able to join in. There's even Black Shield on Jerry to disengage, and he's moving towards the top lane. He might go for the dive here for the 2v1. Should be able to kill Freddy and then take the tower, and then they can just back away down this bottom lane. And finally, Kirby in the mid lane.
Do clear out that mid lane. Candy Panda's the one that's going to rotate around and try and deal with that defensive duties, but that takes a lot away. Of course, they still have Jezzes on Lulu. Look at the goal, switching back and forward between Creaton and Candy Panda. You can see Candy Panda had snuck himself an advantage, but clearly that big fight, that turned it around for Creaton.
Look at the way Freddy plays on this top lane. He knows there's a chance Curb is nearby, so he had to back away from the tower. As soon as he saw Curb in the mid lane, he actually backed away and let Kevin just go crazy on the tower, kill it now. So at least Millenium got a tower up, from the Baron so far.
It was a Baron of opportunity, and a Baron well-worked opportunity it was for Millenium instead. They are now with a 5-3 advantage. You can see SK going to try and make a play.
There's their teleport top.
Spotted out. Destiny comes in. It's not close enough, and Freddy does get out alive, but they're going to put some damage down on towards it. Remember, this is a Lich Bane as well on Kirby. They could try and take that tower down. Freddy doing a good job at clearing those minions, making Kirby tank out the hits.
So Freddy, he instantly flashed away as soon as he saw Kirby here. Had to use ulti as well to try and defend the wave, but he managed to hold Millenium off the tower for now. Bot lane still taking some damage though every single time Millenium has a chance.
Destiny also actually uncovered Svenskeren, as you mentioned, because he was trying to sneak around the side of Millenium, uncovered him. This time he's going to try it again. Destiny is not available. They are 3-on-4 on this bottom lane pairing.
There's actually a pink ward from SK Gaming. They did it for a long time, just making sure they can see if Millenium moves towards the mid lane. Didn't get spotted out. So Millenium backs away. They got one tower with the Baron, and also forced away a flash from Freddy, and a lot of gold now to spend, of course.
Yeah, by both teams actually, so everybody's going to step back from this one, take a breather. Baron will be up in just shy of 2 minutes. Dragon will shortly follow. Millenium, of course, have the timers on everything because they cleared it all out. Kevin coming in is going to try and sweep everything clear. Quicksilver Sash being picked up by Candy Panda.
Okay.
Wise use on that one. Going to make sure it's locked up by those gold cards or binding.
Yeah.
Jesus. And the rest of SK actually shoved very well on these lanes. They're making sure they're getting pushed out of their base.
Just very smart by Candy Panda saying, I'm clearly the target. I need a defensive item. Even though I have a lot of protection, it's not enough here. There's no black shield to stop a stun. No Mikhails, or now actually it is a Mikhail, sorry, onto Enraider as well. So you have Quicksilver Sash, you can upgrade into Scimitar, which of course is a great item now in 4.10, and also cleanse from their Mikhails from Enraider here. So everything invested into trying to keep Candy Panda alive.
Yeah, they're going to make sure he doesn't get stepping out in front there. So the flashback available on Cotnex as well, we should point out. Of course, he managed to catch on last time. So, Dark Binding on Freddy, not going to do a great deal, not going to follow up on that one. Keeps him at bay, and it's SK that are back pushing again. They're now feeling confident enough with that Baron worn off Millenium that they can still win team fights.
There's still 2 pink wards from Millenium around the Baron here, which SK didn't actually manage to clear. So Millenium already with some ward control for the next Baron spawning here. And if SK is out of position, or if one of them get picked off, it could be the next Baron again for Millenium. And this time around, I think they're going to be more aggressive with it and not keep Kirby in the bottom lane with the rest of the members if they feel like they have a chance to actually dive onto Freddy up in his top lane 2v1. Took them some time before. They did it in the very end. Managed to pick up one tower for it.
So Blue Wolf Steel coming out from here. It's going to be Dark Binding question on Freddy once again. He can't get close to it. Dragon will be up in 25 seconds time. Baron in 3 seconds. That spawn right out there. Can they catch off something from Millenium? We saw a little attempt at flanking there from Svenskeren. Cornex is in the pit ready and waiting. Remember, he stole on with a smite early on as SK were trying to grab the lead. Let's have a quick recap actually about how this game has flowed out, because we're at the 36-minute mark now. Dragon is going to be potentially the target, but it looks like Millenium may try and trade this straight to Baron.
If they run to Baron now, there's a ward though in the mid lane spotting them move towards the Baron. You see even the ping here from SK Gaming, so they know, and they have to run to stop Millenium from starting the Baron here.
Yeah, they give up on the Dragon, they're running straight up towards there. This Baron will go down very quickly, so the rest of SK are going to have to react quickly.
Hurry.
They can see it's down to half hit points already, dropping down 3,000 hit points. It's going to go before they get close. There it is, there's the Baron, and now SK engaged. Jamie calls out, Jamie goes down. Well, they're going to drive up towards it. Kevin's doing the front-loaded damage, but he's going to get out the Bloodwell. He's going to pop back out there. Where is Destiny going to go? Curve comes out the side, catches on towards Svenskeren. Candy Panda, though, off the side. Wield the Wild Growth doing the damage. Kicked in, straight away exploded. Curve and Kevin pile the damage down, and it's an ace for Millenium.
And SK Gaming, they had so much time to go in and clear these pink wards away, put their own ward at the Baron, but they didn't. So Millenium with full control here. Fight actually starts. Notice Curve up here in the top of your screen. He's gonna teleport behind the rest of SK. Instantly Candy Panda was the target, gets a Wild Growth, everything. Stun onto Unrated, so for now Kirby's just walking around. Nobody touches him. He doesn't take a single point of damage at this in this fight here. He just do whatever he wants, and he just comes in the end.
Only
late game TF destroys people.
Only at the end they catch on towards him. Millenium are going to push on through on this one. They can finish the game right here. They've taken down the turrets. They had a minion wave in the top there. Nexus drops, and SK Gaming have been taken down by Millenium. That will absolutely put a dent in their charge to chase Alliance.
And Millenium were just the team who kept looking for fights here with the pickup, and they kept getting the right fights, going towards the Baron here. As soon as they saw SK start up their start up the Dragon. They're like, we already have pick wards here. We know there's no wards on the Baron itself. We're just gonna rush it straight away. And SK Gaming were late to the party. And then the team fight itself. Curb teleporting in behind SK Gaming. And nobody was even looking at him. He could just do whatever he wanted. Even the calling us also from Predator did a lot of damage to the team.
So, again, I hate to say it, but Blade of the Ruined King Youmu's has won again on Lucian.
It works!
It works!
There's a reason people build it. There's a reason they win, because it makes you so strong. In this mid game, even in the start of the late game phase, you are very, very strong with Blade of the Ruined King and Ghostblade. You can then sell the Ghostblade in late game once you have 5 items completed, and you've had this entire time as a
Let's check in with them.
Thank you very much, D-Man. Indeed, we are joined by Cotnex. A great game on Lee Sin from you. Talk me through the mindset going into this game, because it seemed like you, Creaton, Curb, you all had something to prove, because you all went very, very hard from the beginning.
Yeah, so we lost yesterday. We had to rethink what we will do in the game. So this time we went in with a plan and we executed it.
Well, it definitely worked out. I got a question for you regarding Millenium's play style, because it does seem that you guys work the best when you're playing pick compositions, looking for those kills and objectives. Can you guys play other styles? And if you can, why are you not?
So pick compositions are really good for us because we have a really good mechanical play, and we like to catch people a lot. I still think we can play like other comps, but if this is open, then we prefer it.
If it works, absolutely. And you pick people off with that Lee Sin, which was actually instrumental in this game as well. And we actually have a replay to take a look at one of the team fights in the game where that was very important. So let's pull that up on the screen.
Yeah, so this is a team fight that happened early on. You can see even on kills, even on gold, even on towers. Let's roll this clip out and talk me through the decision making, because it takes a very long time. And after you've engaged, what's the communication like, Onyx?
So Creator was pretty fed and he gets a good cooling off. So we just we went in and then we disengaged and then we killed the closest target to us.
So the next question for me is, after you end up killing Freddy, you guys end up sort of backing out and going back in. Who's the call-out? Who's the captain in this regard? Because you're going to have this dance for another 20-odd seconds.
So Creator and Curb were really strong at that point. So we kind of follow their calls. They told us that Freddy was coming in, so we just turned instantly on him.
Okay, so we're about to see Creatin go in. If you were to give yourself a scorecard, 1 being bad, 10 being good, what do you think of this play and the fact that you gave up 2 kills? How would you rate it?
Well, 3 maybe at max. It was kind of sloppy.
What would you have done better?
We should just disengage and regroup. Now we have 2 went in and 2 went back. So indecisiveness.
Well, you did redeem yourself with that Dragon Seal later, and actually a very good game. We also have an LCS big play from this game, which comes from @TheOddBlueJay, who says, Cotnex kick on Candy Panda. That was so good, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I do actually think we've got a replay of that. So let's pull it what's on your screen and just go in super slow-mo as we pull off a Cotnex, not an insect. Let's actually just roll this clip out. We're going to roll it at half speed. And Cotnex, did you know that Candy Panda was a juicy target as you came around the corner?
Yeah, and I also knew he had no flash, so I just kind of went for it.
Well, congratulations, dude. It was absolutely well played. Ended up securing you guys the Baron. Definitely helped you carry on to finish the game out. We can get that clip off your screens right now. I do also want to give a little bit of props to Mr. Crepo, who chimed in. He says, Cogmore doesn't have a gap closer, but good guy Cotnex gives him one. Millenium playing really well this game. Congratulations, dude. What do you think when you see your name on their LCS big play?
Oh, great that people think I play good and that they won.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we also checked in with you guys at home, and earlier today we asked you to toss your tweets at us and let us know which teams will finish top 3 in the European LCS and why. And here are some of your choices. The first one is from @JarNoman. Alliance will be on place 1, SK Gaming in 2nd, and Gambit will do what they always do, sprint in the end.
We'll have to see if that works out. Gambit are looking a little shaky, but they do have another game later today, so we'll keep a close eye on them as the weeks go on.
Yep. The second one is from @Seorin. Alliance, SK, Super Hot Crew, unstoppable. Alliance looks unstoppable. SK and the Super Hot Crew coaches are keeping them improving. Cotnex, what do you think of those 3 choices? Of course, Millenium is not yet in them.
So I think these teams are actually play really good. I think the top 4 will be really close. I think we should be in there as well. But yeah.
Well, we wouldn't do this segment without mentioning you, of course. The last tweet is from @AlexFab4. Alliance, Fnatic, and Millennium, thanks to their mid laners Expeke, Kerp, and Froggen, are doing awesome in this split.
I would dare say, and thanks to Cotnex as well. Definitely a turnaround performance since you've joined the team, so well played on picking up Millennium's level.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you guys for sending those in, and we'll see how all of our teams perform on the road to the Summoners Cup. Remember to follow us @LOL Esports and use the hashtag LCS to be a part of the action. Now we need to take a quick break with throw down some vision wards and prepare yourself for Fnatic versus the super hot crew when we come back.